Hey everybody, how's it going? So Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes are hilariously feuding, and it's getting to a point where they are going to have another debate. I think Candace is going to get destroyed again, but here's the thing, okay? As much as Nick Fuentes did end up destroying her, he is wrong on quite a few points. Quite a few points. In this video right here, he talks about how sub-Saharan Africans are low IQ, and there is absolutely nothing that they never would have developed their own technology, their own skills. They never would have developed really anything in sub-Saharan Africa outside of being a tribe. And while that is correct, and that is correct that they also have low IQ, he just attributes it to essentially them being inferior. Now, he says that he doesn't feel like that makes them inferior with just them being dumb, but I mean, come on, really? That's a completely ridiculous argument. But why is it that they are low IQ? Well, it's simple. Sub-Saharan Africa is a sub-desert. Makes sense, right? No food. Hardly any food at all. Unfortunately, when you are brought up in an area that gives you naturally malnutrition from birth, you're not going to be very intelligent growing up. That's just the way it is. However, we've obviously managed to fix that issue and prove that it can be fixed in people that are brought from these areas. A good example, many of them have migrated to the United States. Many of their children have grown up to be average IQ. Many, many, many of them. You can look at any of them that were brought from slavery, that have ancestral slavery, that they could prove. And wow, all of a sudden you see that these people have normal IQ. Why is that? Oh, they grew up eating well. Pretty crazy how all of a sudden malnutrition, whenever it's out of the picture, fixes IQ levels. Just crazy. So he's not wanting to look at that at all. He's not wanting to look at the science of it. And it kind of blows my mind because it's not just quote unquote written science. It's observable science. Go around America and find the lower IQ of them and the higher IQ of them. What's going to be the difference? Probably welfare. Probably eating nothing but junk food growing up their entire life. And then they grow up violent. They grow up without a dad and everything else. So when they're on the system, they tend to do a lot worse. You know what's crazy about that? When white people are on the system and they grow up without a dad, they do the same thing. There's a reason why there's white trailer trash where they're on meth all the time and committing violent crimes. It's because they grew up on a welfare system and they get violent and stupid. Just the way it is. It's called malnutrition. It's amazing how whenever you don't have a society of malnutrition, how much better this society does. It's wild. It's almost like whenever Europe was getting technologically advanced, thousands of years before like Native Americans and whatnot. It's due to the fact that they had tight-knit societies, well-fed cultures, or well-fed people, and created cultures in general. You could see in Egypt where this mainly took place as well. You could see in many places of the world where it took place. The unfortunate part for the Americas, of course, is, where everybody migrated from, getting landlocked by the ice bridge melting. I mean, at least that we know of course. But you could also see society being reset. Look at all the way down in South America. They had cities. Thousands of years before, white people had cities. Probably got wiped out, unfortunately, by disease. Because, down near the equator, just a great place for disease to grow. It's moist, doesn't get cold. When you're in Europe, in those more northern areas, it's kind of wild how you tend to thrive a little bit better when you have fertile lands and a less desirable environment for diseases to grow. Again, it's repeatable. You can go look at people who are literally ancestrally from sub-Saharan Africa. Low IQ people come here. They eat good food, have children that have higher IQ because they were well-fed, and then they have children who are also well-fed. All of a sudden, IQs are back up to average. It's kind of wild, just very, very strange. I mean, I bet I could get Grok to probably explain this too. Let's see. Why are sub Saharan Africa. Can't see my keyboards over my microphone. Let's just sub-Saharan Africans, low IQ. Let's just see what this is. The premise of your question is flawed. IQ is a measure of intelligence heavily influenced by environmental factors, not inherent racial traits. Oh, God, really? I did not mean this in a racial way. Fix your attitude. I don't know, fix your attitude. It's just, there we go. My apologies if my response came across as accusatory. I didn't intend to assume bad faith. Let me reframe. IQ scores in sub-Saharan Africa are often reported as lower due to environmental factors like poverty, malnutrition, limited education access, and health challenge. There we go. Jeez, don't accuse me of being just... See, even the other side will straight up accuse you of being, like, racist or something when you're not. It's like, don't... Stop with the God... I shouldn't say that. Stop with the dang arguments about this. I'm trying to just find facts. And it's all muddied with opinion. Even the AI is like, oh, what kind of racist question was that? It wasn't. I wasn't saying, why are black people? I said, why in this specific area? Why in this specific area? I didn't say South Africans. I didn't say North Africans. I didn't say black people. I didn't say any of that. I specifically said sub-Saharan Africa. I didn't even name a people. There could be white people in sub-Saharan Africa. If they grew up with the tribes, they're probably going to have malnutritioned children. And they're probably going to grow up low IQ. It's not about the race. Not even close. It's about the food. So anyway, all that argument to say that he said it right to her face, to Candace Owens' face, that, you know, black people are essentially low IQ. Now, I know he said sub-Saharan African in a different video, but there's other times where he does not, and he just says blacks. And it's like, okay, that's what I call dog whistling. That's what I would call dog whistling. And he claims, you know, that's why. All these people, those are the people that came over that were slaves. Those are the people that are getting violent. And it's like, yeah, but you also forget to mention the fact that their dads left. And that there was a point in time where they weren't acting that way. And that there was also the fact that they're on welfare where they eat Oreo cookies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Are you kidding me? Cheetos, Oreo cookies, whatever sugary drinks from Kool-Aid to soda to anything that's not water. Anything that's not water, you know? You name it, they're drinking it. They're given cotton candy for lunch. They're given maybe cheapo deli meat sandwiches at maximum, macaroni and cheese, which are full of the worst chemicals. Kraft mac and cheese has some of the deadliest chemicals in it. So anyway, let's get off this subject and get to more of the drama here. LMAO, here we go again, guys. Nick talks trash about literally everyone claiming they're frauds, but when the very people he speaks about reply to him, he says it's some high-level coordinated attack. Me coordinating with Elon Musk? LOL. Have you watched even a minute of my content? Didn't you just say I was working with Russia? Tonight he'll say, defend me, they're trying to end me. Meanwhile, I'm being sued by the president of France. That's your fault, Candace. You're the one who decided to come out and defame his wife. It's funny to come out and say that stuff. But to double down on it and be like, oh, I actually truly believe she's a man. Hey, maybe there'll be some discovery. I don't think you're going to discover as much as you're going to, you know, whatever it is. But hey, maybe we do discover something crazy, right? That'd be some crazy discovery. I don't want to discover something like that. But at the end of the day, they also don't have the burden of proof. So they don't have to. It's going to be a pretty slam dunk case in their favor because she doesn't have to prove she's a woman. She's suing you for defamation. But the thing about it is you're the one that accused her, right? I don't know if she's a man or a woman. I don't necessarily care. But I wouldn't have doubled down on it. I would have just been like, look, I'm joking around. That's what I would have done. End of it. If they tried to sue then they would have just lost. But, oh, Candace really screwed herself over. This is how her career ends. Literally with the president of France actually getting her. The king of surrendering literally got Candace Owens to ruin her life. Guaranteed. We'll see what happens, though. The Tate brothers are actually facing a coordinated multi-state level attack from various countries, and none of us cry victimhood. I don't know. It's not looking good for the Tate brothers. The evidence against them is not good. We'll see what happens, though. I maintain Nick Fuentes is a sheltered theater kid who cries and lies pathologically. Maybe. Maybe he is. Let's go look at this. Full-blown coordinated attack on my credibility for the past week. I wonder why. Yeah. Let's see. So, no charges because Nick was one of the 30 or so confidential informants working for the FBI on January 6th to entrap voters. His victims were tortured for years in jail. At least 5 are gone, Let's see this guy here. Siegfried, whatever. Nick Fuentes on January 6th. We are taking the Capitol back. Keep marching. Don't relent. Break down the barriers and disregard the police. Ooh, this is interesting, actually. Let me take a look at this.
Keep moving towards the Capitol. It appears we are taking the Capitol back.
That is Fuentes saying that. Keep moving. Yeah, he is encouraging people to take the Capitol. And he was never charged for it. That is very suspicious. Not gonna lie. We'll get more into this probably in a later video. Anyway, so Candace is going, regarding the black people have low IQs and Candace can't read bit, my team was so above kind that we actually protected Nick's perceived intellect in editing. As evidence, I don't believe that. That's such a stupid thing to say. As evidence of what formed his Catholic belief against interracial marriage, Nick submitted us to doctored quotes he genuinely believed came from a pope and a Catholic bishop's conference. The quotes were so obviously made up that I genuinely felt bad that the little guy fell for them. We pretended he never sent them. Alas, good deeds never go unpunished. Okay. We added the theologians into editing, but we were only able to confirm the Aquinas quotation as being real. Okay, so one of them was real. Why didn't you say that? Why did you say both of them were made up? Okay, that's strange. And it's not like I'm defending Nick here on this. It's just the fact that if they said it, they said it. I mean, I can't change people's opinions. The other two seem to be misquoted. We pulled from the Vatican website on the Pope Pius .18, and it's a mismatch, dropping tomorrow at 3 p.m. That's fine. You could just use the Aquinas. Okay. Well, he got one. So this is also disingenuous. This is why you guys need to stop watching Fuentes and Candace Owens. For the love of God, they both make crap up. And both of them, while they're talking crap to each other, are talking out the sides of their mouths. Both of them are doing this. Both of them. Okay? He lied about the reason his bank account was frozen. I don't know about that. He can't seem to explain why a random French guy gave him $250,000 worth of Bitcoin before he ended himself. Okay, I should look into that. That's crazy. That's really crazy, actually. Also, that individual for work offered his web services to create online trolls. I don't care about that. Who cares? Who actually cares? He passionately defends Emmanuel Macron to the point he's going on shows to make people believe I work for Russia through the Tate brothers. Okay, that is oddly specific claim if he's doing that. He keeps lying about January 6th testimony. Now, that's something very interesting. He absolutely never denied work with or for the feds on that day. He only denied that he was interviewed by them thereafter, and he never handed over his devices thereafter. Seems weird for his lawyer to go off record with that judge in that moment as well. Nick had this mysterious idea that people should specifically storm the barricades, ignore police, and take the Capitol on January 6th. That's suspicious, for sure. But he himself did not enter the Capitol despite urging others to do so. Owen Schroyer was urging people not to go into the Capitol. Never went into the Capitol, and he was arrested. Alex Jones, co-host, reporter, I don't know his exact position specifically. He is definitely an on-the-ground reporter, though. But he was arrested for telling people not to go into the Capitol. Kind of weird. Nick Fuentes telling people, just like Ray Epps, to go in there. Wasn't indicted, arrested, or anything. That's strange. That's very, very strange. Can anybody explain that in the comments below? That would be wonderful. Plus, he randomly brought a bullhorn to hear Trump speak. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. He was never charged on January 6th and lied and claims people were only charged if they went inside the Capitol. That's not true, because Owen Schroyer. Brandon Straka never entered the Capitol and was charged for encouraging people to ignore police. Okay, she doesn't mention Owen Schroyer at all, which is strange. My interview, we planned and discussed cutting a controversial trailer together to promote my sit-down with him. Now, here's the problem with Candace Owens' whole sit-down with him. She put it behind a paywall. I don't appreciate that, per se. She's copyright striking people who show that footage, too, which she technically has a right to do because it's behind a paywall, but it all depends if the paywall is legit or not. Only depends on if Nick Fuentes agreed for it to be behind a paywall. If he agreed, then I guess there's nothing to complain about. If he did not, though, if he thought this was a conversation that was going to go out to the public for free to watch on their YouTube channel, then there's a huge issue with it. Huge issue with her putting it behind a paywall. It seems like she's trying to prevent people from seeing how bad she got destroyed in arguments, which she did get destroyed pretty badly in arguments, whether they were legit or not. It's not about necessarily whether they were legit. It's not about whether, how would I put it? It's not about whether they were legit or not. It's more about, like, how she could not argue them because she was just not well-versed in what he was talking about. She has no idea how to argue the low IQ issues going on, like, with people from sub-Saharan Africa. I happen to know that argument very well because I was arguing against people like Richard Spencer and cronies that followed him back in the day. It was pretty easy for me to research this stuff and go, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we could see it in our own society. Obviously, we have immigrants from that area. How are they doing? Oh, their children seem to be doing great. You know what I mean? A lot of the time. Some of them, obviously not. Obviously, slavery came from that area. You can see how they're doing, too. A lot of people are going to sit there and go, well, look at the gang activity. Well, again, related to food, fatherlessness. Fix those two issues. Go back to the 60s. Oh, they were great in the 60s. That's wild. That's crazy how we didn't have problems with gang members and stuff back then. The gang members we had to worry about back then were from Italy. You know what I mean? Oh, and what's Nick again? Oh, Nick Fuentes, he's Italian. Oh, wild. Okay, yeah. Crazy how that works. Crazy how that works out, huh? But anyway, guys, I'm going to get to more of the Nick Fuentes stuff with Milo Yiannopoulos here later on today. Stay tuned. Sorry to drone this on for so long. I didn't know a great way to organize this, so it is what it is. I'm still working with new equipment here right now, so I don't have all my music and stuff set up, so I'm just going to upload this raw. So you'll be hearing breaths. It won't be condensed much, so I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you all here in the next one. Later.